Hello everyone, my name is Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is May 3rd, 2025. And this is just going to be a quick update. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin's immediate price action, what I expect this weekend, if anything, if there have been any changes on my previous calls for what I'm expecting in Bitcoin. But most importantly, I want to talk about altcoins and why the most reliable indicator in the cryptocurrency space for altcoins is flashing an imminent move in altcoins, right? I'm really excited to talk about that. So if that all interests you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get started with Bitcoin as per usual on the 4-hourly time frame. Okay, let's go on the 4-hourly time frame. So I remember saying that Bitcoin was likely going to experience some sort of resistance at this level, and this level I designated as the pink box. I used Fibonacci retracement levels to measure the height of this pink box, and essentially I measured the height of this move right here, and then this is the counter, right? So all of this for me, all of this right here is a counter to this. And then I measured the proportion of this to this and found that this was going to likely be a target area for the end of this move. And now that we've reached this level, we should prepare for a move down to complete the larger move, okay? That's been the analysis for quite some time, hasn't changed for months. Now, to get more granular, we can go on the hourly time frame. And what I'm seeing here is this. All of this consolidation is an up and to the right consolidation in my estimation. Everything that you've seen in Bitcoin from the 22nd of April has been a sort of distribution to prepare the move down. Obviously, we know in technical analysis, you don't change direction on a whim. You can't just up and go impulsively down from a move up, or go impulsively up from a move down without putting in intermediate or without preparing the change in direction with some sort of consolidation. So this is the consolidation right here that takes the price action that you see from up to down, okay? And so if that's true, we should be able to count it with a relative degree of accuracy. And the way I'm counting it is this. I'm seeing this is my initial break. This is my counter. This is my secondary break. This is my secondary counter. This is my tertiary break, tertiary counter. So I'm waiting for a tertiary counter. Again, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about AB base theory that Ralph Nelson Elliott, he briefly mentioned in one of his later treatises. It's basically a way to count distributions, consolidations, accumulations, right? Count the way price corrects before impulsive moves up or down, right? The Wyckoff people know this as distributions or accumulations, yeah? So in Elliott wave analysis, you just count, and not that many Elliottians know about this because it's not as popular, but I think it's really, really important. Essentially, you just count 3 pairs of AB bases, and you typically get the end of consolidation. So once again, this is my initial break. This is my secondary break. Right here. This is my my initial break, my initial counter, my secondary break, my secondary counter, my tertiary break, my tertiary counter. So I'm looking for a move, a small move back to the top of this small channel here. And that should conclude this larger consolidation, which is a distribution down. Meanwhile, the larger, well, I won't say the larger majority. I just see a lot of people on my social media feeds be super bullish about Bitcoin, which I find strange because, one, we're at macro resistance. Two, the move occurred towards the end of the week. So just a word to the wise, if you want to be bullish on a Bitcoin move, it's best to really give credence to a move that takes place towards the beginning of the week, so it has time to develop during the work week, during the time where there's liquidity of the US dollar. And it's best not to be bullish at resistance. I mean, that goes without saying, but people are how they are. We're at resistance, and this move happened toward the end of the week, and still yet people are bullish. This is exactly why certain people think it's manipulation. It's not manipulation. It's just the way people think. It's just market psychology. People tend to want to get in on a move when it's been proven, because people like to be sure. There's no such thing in technical analysis, but they feel more secure having seen Bitcoin go up for all of April. And they're like, okay, now I can trust this move because it's gone up since the beginning of April, and now it's at resistance. Now they're just kind of paying attention, and ironically, that's exactly when it's beginning to come back down. And if they were really savvy, they would be very wary of this move, given that the base of it is a double bottom, which you don't want to see. A really good tried and true rule is that if it's perfectly impulsive, meaning it's going to sustain the trend, it's not double bottomed, but it's just a single strong move up and then retraced upon no more than 62% and then continue. Enough of that. That's Bitcoin. That's what I'm seeing. So I am seeing a marginal move back up, as I said, in this small channel that I drew. If I can pull it up, I can't pull it up, and it's okay. But yeah, I'm just seeing a small move up in Bitcoin. Nothing to write home about. I'm still seeing us stay within the context of the pink box because we are at larger resistance, this 100-day resistance that we've been in, and I'm still expecting a much larger move down. Now, I really wanted to make this video not to update you on Bitcoin because that's not that interesting, to be honest. Nothing's really changed from my larger thesis. But the one indicator that I think is the most reliable indicator of all of cryptocurrency is flashing an imminent move in altcoins. And that indicator I'm referring to is the Bitcoin dominance chart. For those of you who don't know, the Bitcoin dominance chart is a measure of what Bitcoin's doing vis-a-vis altcoins. So it's going to take, it's calculated in terms of percentage, and it's basically saying this at present is the percentage of market cap of all of the cryptocurrency space that Bitcoin comprises. When it goes up, that means Bitcoin's gaining against other altcoins, right? The rest of the cryptocurrency space in market cap. That typically denotes a bearish environment where altcoins are bleeding. Bitcoin may be going sideways or up marginally or down a little bit, and altcoins are going up much more, or down much more rather. So Bitcoin dominance goes up. What we've seen in the cryptocurrency space for many weeks successively is Bitcoin dominance generally going up. You can see it, and I'm not even showing you the entire trend, but this is quite sufficient. If you've been in the space, you know Bitcoin dominance has been going up. Altcoins have been bleeding, relatively speaking. Although we have an interesting development here with some sort of break of this trend, okay? But I don't want to talk about the larger analysis right today. I just want to talk about this part right here. What has happened in the past 30 days. And this is why I'm saying this move is imminent. So past 30 days, 30 plus days, since April 7th. No, almost 30 days, 26 days. There's been this trend that Bitcoin dominance has been under, okay? I have it in terms of this dotted line up and to the right. Every time we've hit it, we've rejected from it. Hit it, rejected from it. Hit it, rejected from it, okay? Why am I so excited about this? Well, one, it's towards, in context of the larger analysis, it signifies one of the latter stages of a distribution, right? And again, I don't want to rehash the larger analysis of Bitcoin dominance, but you can do this on your own. You can go in my previous videos, but Bitcoin dominance has started to break to the downside, kind of like what we see in Bitcoin on the smaller time frames, in an up and to the right distribution. Just because the distribution isn't flat doesn't necessarily mean it's not a distribution. A distribution can be up and to the right. It doesn't mean it's not breaking down. It just means when it does break down, it's going to be that much more surprising for most market participants. So the past 30 days, you can see this even more clearly on the 4-hourly time frame, have presented a scenario whereby this resistance has rejected Bitcoin dominance each and every single time. So once, twice, 3 times. That's what I'm saying. And so we're at the resistance that we've been rejecting at for the past 30 days. I don't expect it to break. Again, given the larger context, given the higher time frame analysis, I'm just on the 4-hourly time frame. The higher time frame analysis is done on the weekly time frame. Okay? So I think it's imminent because you're at that resistance. You've wicked at it, right? You're likely going to reject from it once again, just like you did once, twice, 3 times, okay? And I think this is the last time. And if this is true, what you're likely to see is not the biggest move in the world in altcoins, but a significant move, something worth noticing, okay? That's what you're seeing here. I think what you're gonna get is a move down here, okay? Again, this is a channel that you've been in. I think you reject down, test the middle. Let's try that again. Ooh, nice. Test the middle, then break down from it. Okay. So I think we get this weekend, if not this weekend, towards the beginning of the week at the very latest. But I'm seeing it this weekend, to be honest, because when I look at certain altcoins, they look like they're very clearly on support, even on the smaller time frames. So that's the most, I think Bitcoin dominance is the most reliable indicator that we have for altcoins in the cryptocurrency space. It's very closely aligned with, basically it just amalgamates all these market caps and then compares them. There's not too much processing, right? It's not a relative strength indicator or anything like that. It's just market cap against market cap. What's the percentage? If it's going down, that's an Altseason type activity. That means altcoins are gaining against Bitcoin in market cap. And the only way that happens is if altcoins are going up and Bitcoin's going up, but not as much. So precisely the scenario that I outlined earlier in the video. To finish things off, I want to look more specifically at some altcoins that I've seen to be on support, okay, and what they look like. That is the first one I want to point out. So as you can see here, this has been some channel that you've been in since February 2nd, that was this capitulative move. You've matriculated up and through the channel since the beginning of April. You've broken out and retested the resistance of this channel with this compound flat correction. It's very, very clear on the small time frames that the next move is going to be up here-ish and then down here. And then you continue. But you're getting a move up and out of this, given that you've broken the boundaries of the channel, the resistance of the channel, and it was duly retested. So this is a very high probability next move for BAT, and the next logical resistance is up here, and then a retracement, and then you can continue. So that's just one example. Another example, oh, I can hear people thinking. I know that sounds weird, but maybe. Anyway, Ethereum, what about Ethereum? Is Ethereum going to pump? I think Ethereum may move a little bit. I don't think it's going to move so drastically because, look, and I like to compare different phases of price action. So just an example, we just looked at BAT, basic attention token, and it broke the channel, retested it. It's ready for a pump up and out of the channel that it broke from. Ethereum has broken the channel, never retested it. So if Ethereum does pump, I don't expect it to pump much. If anything, it may pump marginally up here, but I still expect Ethereum to come back and retest this channel before putting in any serious moves. And again, I think that the most the most significant altcoin moves come, and I said this in the previous video, I still believe this. The most significant altcoin moves come once Bitcoin breaks down here, then does this retest right here, the second wave retest. I still think that, right? So that being said, I still believe, given what I'm seeing in Bitcoin dominance, given what I'm seeing in certain altcoin charts, that we're still going to get some altcoins moving before that, and moving more than others. What's another example? Let's give one more example and get out of here. So Litecoin is another example of something that's clearly on support. Let's look at it on the 4-hourly time frame. Okay, I think on the 4-hourly time frame you can see quite clearly that Litecoin has been slowly matriculating up and out of this inverse head and shoulders. Very nice. You can see the left shoulder. If anything, it's going to put in something like this, but it may very well go here and a little higher even this weekend. Okay, I don't expect anything too crazy. I don't expect anything too crazy. Please don't think that I'm saying we're going to get a massive pump. But I do expect, given what we're seeing in Bitcoin dominance, given what we're seeing in the charts, I do expect some sort of move, at the very least, to the upside in certain altcoins. And that move be sustained, meaning you don't necessarily completely retrace upon it. It doesn't go up 100%, down 100% once we open trading on Sunday evening, Monday morning. So that's what I'm seeing. That's why I'm saying it. Guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you got value. Consider tipping me via Cash App, Venmo, or Litecoin, all at the pinned comment below. Also consider my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service. Also can be found at the pinned comment below. And do keep in mind, I did sign with a new partner exchange. It's called CoinCatch. And CoinCatch, they're based out of Korea, very serious. They have a really good system of customer support, and thus far they've treated me very well, and they've treated my referrals very well. So sign up. I think they're running an event now that gives about $130 without your doing anything but, you know, signing up and doing a few different activities, but no deposit required. They're just going to give you $30, and if you deposit anything over $10, they give you an extra $20. So it's $150 in total deposit, no deposit bonus for this event, and I think it runs up until mid-May. Guys, that's it for me. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Days while the world spins without me, arrived at the fork in the road, could turn back, repeat the same story, or march forward and embrace change and reflect upon his glory. I'm a selfish man, therein lies the whole problem, torn between my actions and the will of my heart. I had to take it all apart to see where I stood as a man, to depart from this world and leave it in his hands. Come on.
Looks like I'm heading for the gold, y'all. Touring on a pothole road, y'all. I get it even if I didn't fit in, winning right up to the end, like I didn't even know, y'all. I have Pop's genetics, working hard never to get it, like shit or better. Don't letting life get the best of my efforts. Instead I dedicated to bettering my steps, measuring investments, watch me do it to the death, y'all.